on a family farm, it just starts in your blood, and you just, farming with my dad, you get to develop a relationship with the land and learn to love agriculture. You learn the nuts and bolts growing up on the farm, but you start to learn the finer details at college. And
it's the same way with me. I've always knew that I wanted to be in ag industry, and so sometimes your journey takes a different avenue, but ultimately I knew that this is where I wanted to be, and when it gets into your blood, it's really hard to get out of, and so it's really just something that I'd love to continue to be in terms of my career for the rest of my job career.
There's a lot of memories that I have as kids, and we have pictures of us literally in the yard here, sitting on a tractor, 3 of us sitting on a tractor seat. And again, since my dad was a farmer and he was home all the time, he spent more time with us. And you look back and honestly, I don't think I could see myself raised in any other fashion. Wanted to be able to come home and still, because it's always, one thing about farming and in general, it's honestly, it's stressful, but there's so many stress releases in it. And so, I could be stressed at college and come home on the weekends. So for me, I went, decided, and had heard really good things about Walla Walla Community College. And so decided, hey, I can play baseball there, still get a plant and soil science degree there. Met a lot of great teachers, and honestly, that's again where kind of I had gotten a taste of, at a smaller level, got a taste of an ag degree, and I was like, this is definitely something, and honestly had one thing I learned throughout the college process was having advisors that were good and giving you the right classes, and asking you, hey, what do you want to do? Not just telling you to do these things. So for me, that college was super great too, because they actually had feeder programs, avenues to give me credits at WSU for my hort degree, stuff that transferred over, because I knew I wanted to go that way.
I think right now, more than ever, financing and be able to understand where expenses go and how to maximize the ability to continue farming. And so with my business degree and with my current job, working with farmers, trying to figure out solutions to help them, obviously stay open for a year, but hopefully be able to take that farm and hand it off to the next generation. And so, at least for my degree personally, it's building that relationship with a farmer to say hey, your fertility program needs to look like this, because I think that we can maximize your yields, but we can also make sure that you're going to reallocate some of that money and hopefully continue to stay open year over year.
And one thing too that for me, being out in the workforce, I learned a lot of things at WSU, but it wasn't, so much of the stuff that you learn is on-job experience and people that I've worked with. And when you have people at college that motivate you and excite you about things, and then when you work with people that are super excited about their job and make it a point to teach you things that they know because they're very skilled at it, it makes things exciting. I love my job. I love what I do, because of the people that I've fortunately been able to surround myself with.
Trying to find with our new vineyard is having drip irrigation. Let's figure out ways to help take less passes into the field. Let's try to shoot fertilizer through it. Let's try to...
literally just being able to... I think in the past, the way we farm was, hey, we're going to conserve money and just get by and continue to get by and continue to get by. It was super fun to... once I got out of college and came back to the farm and started working with my dad, and bringing him, hey, I saw this, at one of the places that I was, one of the ranches that I was at, and hey, what do you think about doing that? That sounds all right. We even got him to plant cosmics, and here was a guy that, we'll see how that works out, but, here was a guy that used to just grow Goldens and the old varieties and pears and, on an 18-foot spacing. And again, it works. It works if it works. We planted our first trellis, 5-6 years ago because, hey, we might as well try. Everybody's doing it. We might as well try it. And it's like he said, financially, we went back and looked. We used to do things, again, to get by, save money. But when you start looking at things, hey, how much does it cost to sit on a tractor and go through a field? Hey, can we save a pass here?
Doing the things that are going to save us money is really what we're trying to keep.
Well, yeah, and we don't farm with I think the newest tractor we have might be in the 2010s, maybe, if we're lucky. But farming with stuff that works, still efficiently, upgrading just a little bit to where, going with drip irrigation and again, being able to save time. We can water way more efficiently. We can put in, instead of driving a tractor through the field and spreading granular fertilizer, now we get to fertilize 30 acres. I can do it in 2 days. It's super easy, it's super efficient. So spending the money up front is going to save us money on the back end for sure. If I was talking to younger growers, I would highly advise them to ask good questions to the right people. They've seen the good, they've seen the bad, and in between. Those guys have a lot of great experience, and they're only going to be around for so long, and it's really good information to have. Being
able to go out and just go out to, whether it's a good fruit program or if it's just like a Washington Tree Fruit Association, being able to go out to some of those events that they have and just get out and introduce yourself to people. I think being a sponge too, just like Jake had alluded to a little bit of, try to ask as many questions as possible, because, again, just because you may know something doesn't mean that perspective that you get from somebody else may change the way you think through things. And so those are two that I feel like are really going to help somebody succeed in the industry.